Hey, 49ers faithful. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates on our beloved San Francisco 49ers. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any breaking news or exciting updates about the Niners. The buzz started quietly, almost like a whisper in the corridors of the league, but it didn't take long before that whisper turned into a full-blown roar across timelines, group chats, and late-night sports debates. Shedeur Sanders, a name that already carried weight far beyond his age and experience, suddenly found himself at the center of a rumor so bold that it felt unreal at first glance. The idea that he had made a firm decision, that he had looked at his future and chosen a path involving the San Francisco 49ers, sounded like something straight out of a movie script. And yet, insiders kept hinting that this was not just smoke without fire. According to the chatter, the proposal placed in front of Shedeur was described as irresistible, not only because of money or status, but because of vision, structure, and the promise of legacy. People close to the situation suggest that the conversation went far beyond football basics, touching on branding, long-term development, and the chance to step into a system known for patience and creativity. This wasn't portrayed as a rushed move or a reckless leap. Instead, it was framed as a calculated choice, one where Shedeur supposedly saw an alignment between who he is becoming and what the 49ers represent as an organization. The rumor paints a picture of mutual admiration, where both sides felt this was not about now, but about building something that could echo for years. As the speculation grew louder, the focus shifted to Shedeur's mindset and what could have pushed him towards such a bold acceptance. Those who follow his journey closely often point out that he has never shied away from pressure or expectations. Growing up under the shadow of a legendary father, he learned early how to filter noise and trust his own instincts. This decision, if the rumors are to be believed, fits perfectly into that narrative. The 49ers reportedly did not just pitch him on playing time or immediate glory. They allegedly presented a roadmap, a step-by-step vision of growth, mentorship, and controlled exposure to the highest level of competition. Sources whisper that Shedeur was particularly intrigued by the idea of learning within a locker room filled with seasoned leaders, players who understand what it means to chase championships year after year. The proposal was said to respect his individuality while also challenging him to adapt, evolve, and refine his game. It wasn't framed as a savior story, but as a collaboration. That detail alone is what makes this rumor feel believable to many fans. Shedeur accepting such an offer would signal maturity beyond his years, a willingness to play the long game rather than chase instant headlines. It suggests a young quarterback who understands that true greatness often comes from patience and the right environment. Naturally, the 49ers side of the story adds another layer of intrigue. This is a franchise with a history of bold moves and deep strategic thinking, rarely acting on impulse. The rumors suggest that their interest in Shedeur Sanders has been brewing quietly, almost secretly, for quite some time. Evaluators within the organization are said to admire not just his arm talent, but his composure, decision-making, and leadership presence. According to the speculation, meetings between both sides were less about flashy promises and more about football philosophy. The 49ers allegedly emphasized how their offensive system could highlight Shedeur's strengths while smoothing out his weaknesses. They supposedly talked about timing, rhythm, and trust, concepts that resonate deeply with quarterbacks who value intelligence as much as athleticism. What makes the proposal described as irresistible is the claim that it extended beyond the field. The organization reportedly discussed community involvement, media guidance, and long-term brand building, elements that align with Shedeur's growing influence. If true, this would not be a simple contract discussion, but a holistic pitch designed to make him feel valued as a complete individual. That approach alone fuels the belief that something serious is unfolding behind the scenes. The reaction from fans, even at the rumor stage, has been nothing short of explosive. Some see this potential move as a match made in football heaven, while others question whether it might be too much, too soon. Yet even the skeptics admit that the idea has a certain logic to it. Shedeur Sanders joining a franchise known for innovation and stability feels like a narrative that writes itself. Online discussions are filled with breakdowns of how his skill set could translate within the 49ers system, with armchair analysts dissecting footwork, release, and field vision. The rumor has also reignited debates about the evolving path of young quarterbacks, especially those who come into the spotlight early. Supporters argue that accepting an irresistible proposal is not about selling out, but about recognizing opportunity when it appears. Critics, on the other hand, worry about expectations and the weight of a historic franchise. Still, the sheer volume of conversation proves one thing clearly. This story has captured attention in a way few speculative pieces manage to do. Whether fueled by hope, curiosity, or fear, the name Shedeur Sanders is now firmly attached to the 49ers in the collective imagination of the football world. Another fascinating angle of this rumor lies in how it reflects Shedeur's confidence in his own trajectory. Accepting such a proposal, if true, suggests that he believes deeply in his preparation and resilience. People close to his camp often describe him as someone who studies the game obsessively, who seeks understanding rather than shortcuts. The 49ers reportedly recognized that trait and leaned into it during discussions. The speculation claims that conversations included film study philosophy, communication with coaches, and how feedback would be delivered. This level of detail is what separates casual interest from genuine commitment. The proposal was not sold as a golden ticket, but as a demanding challenge that would require constant growth. That tone, according to the rumor, resonated strongly with Shedeur. It aligns with the image of a quarterback who wants to earn respect rather than receive it automatically. In this light, the decision to accept becomes less shocking and more logical. It becomes the move of a competitor who sees an environment where he can sharpen his craft while being supported by a strong organizational backbone. Even if nothing is officially confirmed, the narrative itself reveals a lot about how Shedeur is perceived across the league. As the first wave of speculation settled, a deeper conversation emerged about timing and patience. Many fans wondered why the 49ers would move so decisively and why Shedeur would respond in kind. The rumor suggests that both sides viewed this as a rare moment of alignment, where opportunity and readiness intersected. For the 49ers, it could represent an investment in the future, a way to stay ahead in an increasingly competitive landscape. For Shedeur, it might symbolize trust in a process that values development over hype. The irresistible nature of the proposal, as described by insiders, supposedly lay in its balance. It offered ambition without recklessness, security without stagnation. That balance is hard to find, especially for a young quarterback navigating constant scrutiny. The speculation also hints that Shedeur was drawn to the culture of accountability within the organization, a place where standards are clear and expectations are shared. If true, this acceptance would be a statement about values as much as football. It would show that he is not chasing the loudest spotlight, but the strongest foundation. The second part of this unfolding rumor dives even deeper into the potential ripple effects across the league. If Shedeur Sanders truly committed himself to the 49ers' vision, it could influence how other young players view their own paths. The idea of prioritizing fit and culture over immediate stardom challenges the traditional narrative. This story, even as speculation, encourages a broader conversation about patience in professional sports. Analysts have begun to imagine how Shedeur's presence could subtly shift dynamics within the locker room, bringing youthful energy paired with a surprisingly mature outlook. The rumors suggest that veterans within the organization were not opposed to the idea, but intrigued by it. They reportedly see Shedeur as someone willing to listen and learn, traits that earn respect quickly. This imagined harmony is part of what makes the story compelling. It is not framed as a takeover or a controversy, but as an evolution. The 49ers, known for balancing tradition with innovation, appear in this rumor as architects of a carefully planned future. Shedeur, in turn, is portrayed as a willing student of the game, eager to absorb knowledge and eventually leave his own mark. Another layer of speculation centers on branding and visibility. Shedeur Sanders is already a recognizable figure, and aligning with a franchise like the 49ers could amplify that presence significantly. The rumor claims that discussions included how to manage attention, expectations, and media narratives. This is crucial for a young athlete stepping into a massive spotlight. The proposal's irresistible quality may have stemmed from the promise of guidance rather than control. According to whispers, the organization emphasized authenticity, encouraging Shedeur to remain himself while understanding the responsibilities that come with prominence. This approach could be especially appealing to someone who has grown up around fame and understands its double-edged nature. By choosing an environment that acknowledges these realities, Shedeur would be making a statement about self-awareness. Even as speculation, this narrative resonates with fans who appreciate thoughtful decision-making. It paints a picture of a quarterback not just preparing for games, but for a career shaped by intention and discipline. Of course, no rumor of this magnitude exists without skepticism. Some voices caution against reading too much into unconfirmed reports, reminding everyone that football is full of surprises. Yet even skeptics admit that the story feels unusually detailed. The way the proposal is described, the emphasis on development, and the mutual respect implied all contribute to its credibility. The absence of flashy guarantees or dramatic ultimatums makes it feel grounded. In sports culture, the most believable rumors are often the quiet ones, the ones that sound like thoughtful conversations rather than blockbuster announcements. This is why the Shedeur Sanders and 49ers connection has lingered in discussion rather than fading quickly. It invites analysis, debate, and imagination. Whether true or not, it reflects a desire among fans to see smarter, more patient approaches rewarded. It also highlights how narratives shape perception long before any official word is spoken. The potential football implications are endlessly fascinating. Imagining Shedeur Sanders within the 49ers' offensive structure opens the door to countless what-if scenarios. Analysts speculate about how his accuracy, timing, and confidence could mesh with a system designed to maximize efficiency. The rumors suggest that coaches see him as a long-term project with immediate upside, someone who could grow steadily without being rushed. This patience is often preached but rarely practiced, which is why the story stands out. It challenges the assumption that young quarterbacks must be thrown into chaos to prove themselves. Instead, it proposes a model built on trust and preparation. Fans who value strategic thinking find this idea refreshing. Even in speculation, it feels like a blueprint for sustainable success rather than short-term excitement. That alone keeps the conversation alive. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. As the rumor continues to circulate, one thing becomes clear. Shedeur Sanders is being discussed not just as a player, but as a symbol of a new approach. His supposed acceptance of an irresistible proposal from the 49ers represents more than a single decision. It symbolizes a shift in priorities where fit, culture, and growth matter as much as raw opportunity. Whether or not this story eventually proves accurate, its impact is already felt in the way fans and analysts talk about the future. It encourages patience, thoughtfulness, and long-term vision. In a sports world often driven by immediacy, that message stands out. And perhaps that is the most powerful part of this rumor. It makes people think differently about what success looks like, and about how young stars can shape their own narratives with intention and confidence. In the end, the Shedeur Sanders and 49ers speculation remains exactly that, a rumor filled with intriguing details and compelling logic. Yet its strength lies in how believable it feels to so many. It taps into shared hopes for smarter decisions and meaningful development. It paints Shedeur as a quarterback who knows who he is and what he wants, and the 49ers as an organization willing to invest thoughtfully. Until anything becomes official, this story will continue to live in discussions, fueling debates and imaginations. And maybe that is precisely why it resonates so deeply. It is not just about football transactions, but about vision, patience, and the courage to choose a path that feels right, even when the whole world is watching. At this stage, the rumor has taken on a life of its own, evolving beyond a simple what if into a full-blown narrative that shapes expectations moving forward. Every future decision, every roster move, and every public comment will now be interpreted through this lens of boldness and surprise. Even if Dak Prescott never arrives, the idea that the 49ers were willing to explore such a move changes how the franchise is perceived. It suggests a team that is no longer reactive, but proactive, willing to destabilize itself in pursuit of something greater. The veteran cut becomes the emotional anchor of this story, grounding the speculation in a tangible consequence. It reminds everyone that rumors often carry a kernel of truth, even if details are distorted. For fans, this ongoing uncertainty is both exhausting and exhilarating. It keeps the imagination active and the conversation alive. In a league driven by narratives as much as performance, that alone is a form of power. Until clarity arrives, this story will continue to grow, feeding on silence, ambition, and the universal hunger for a defining moment. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.